Hello everyone, it's Sona here from Upgrade Your OET at Bose Learning. I'm very happy to tell you that our latest Reading on Demand course is now available on Udemy. I've got a little preview video of it here. This is the overview and it shows you exactly what the reading is all about. If you like the looks of it and would like to buy the course, please look at the links below and you'll be able to get yourself a great deal. Thanks for watching. Okay then, let's start with an overview of what the reading test entails. The first thing to know is that it's the same for all professions. Whether you are a nurse, a doctor, a vet, a dentist, a physio or occupational therapist, the reading test that you get will be exactly the same. This is slightly different for the writing and the speaking tests, which are profession specific, but the reading and the listening actually are the same for all professions. The test itself is designed to look at specific skills needed when working as a healthcare professional. Why? Well, when you're at work, you refer to various sources for information on a daily basis. Normally, it's to find information that you need for a particular reason, a healthcare reason. For example, you need to check the dosage charts of a patient, or update yourself about clinical guidance, or perhaps it's to keep up to date about developments in your area of expertise. These are all essential reading skills that will be needed in the OET. So the good news is, it's nothing that you don't do on a daily basis at work anyway. Okay then, what kind of skills are being tested and why? Well, the first one is scanning and finding information quickly. How do you do it at work? This could be when you're reading a chart in front of a patient, you're talking to the patient, but you need to check something like the dosage of a medicine or the patient's age or next of kin. Another skill is transferring information accurately. At work, this would be when you're writing handover notes. And in the test, it's when you're writing your answer, so be careful of spelling. Another skill that's going to be looked at is understanding why a text has been written. Now, it may not be so obvious how you do this at work, but actually you do it all the time. When you're scanning a memo or an email to see if it's relevant to you, you have a quick look over, decide whether it's connected to your job, whether it's something that you need to pay attention to immediately, or maybe you can leave it till tomorrow. And that's when you're scanning for gist and meaning. And those are skills that will also be tested in the OET. There's also understanding opinion. Now, this is when you have to infer ideas. So things might not be so black and white, but you need to use your knowledge of English, the way things have been written, to gather meaning. This is the kind of thing you would do when you're reading professional journals, professional texts, and you're trying to understand whether the author agrees or disagrees with an opinion, or why the author is saying what they are saying at all. Finally, there's understanding complex information accurately. And again, it's something that you do all the time across many different areas. It's when you're reading professional journals, when you're looking at clinical guidelines, and even when you're looking over handover notes. There's lots of information to take in, assimilate, and understand accurately. Let's look at the practicalities then. So the whole reading test is 60 minutes long, and it's separated out into 3 parts. Reading part A is 15 minutes long. The really important thing to know about this is that the papers will be collected at the end of this time. Reading part B and C are 45 minutes long. The way that the scores are separated out is that reading part A is scored out of 20, reading part B out of 6, and C out of 16. That means the total possible score is 42. To get a grade B, which I know most of you are aiming for, means that you need to get about 30 out of 42 correct. But of course, when you're practicing, aim to get as many answers as you can as possible and aim to overachieve. Get above 32 answers correct, and then you know you're on the right track for that grade B. Let's look at each section in a little bit more detail. Part A, 15 minutes long, and you get 4 workplace texts. These could be something like a flowchart, dosage information, operating instructions, and one will always have numerical or visual information. But don't worry, there's no calculations needed. So the good thing is, these are things that you come across every day at work. It could look something like this. And again, the skills that you need here are expeditious reading, reading quickly, skimming and scanning, and a little bit of careful reading. So once you've found what you're looking for, once you've found that dosage, then you find out, okay, exactly what strength you need to give your patient. Part B and Part C are joined, so you get 45 minutes in total for both, and the invigilators are not going to tell you how to separate that time out. But we recommend that you spend about 10 to 12 minutes on Part B, because you'll need about 35 minutes for Part C. You'll get 6 short, unconnected workplace texts, and each text is about 100 to 150 words long. This time, you'll get multiple choice questions. Each text has 1 question, and you'll get 3 options. And there are 6 questions in total. You need to select the best option out of the 3 and shade in the letter corresponding to that. It will look something like this. One of the skills that you'll need here is being able to understand what the question is asking of you. For example, the notice is giving information about A, B, or C. So what do you need to actually look for? Well, you need to find out, why has this memo been written? What is the purpose of the memo? Is it to find ways of checking something, how to use something, or which staff should perform this placement? And then Part C. This is the longest and I think most interesting part. You get 45 minutes in combination with Part B, but you should be spending about 35 minutes on Part C alone. You'll need it. You get 2 professional texts with multiple choice questions, and the type of texts you'd get are those that you would read for professional development. So you don't have a patient in front of you, you're not sitting at your computer just catching up with emails. This is when you have a little bit more time and you want to read for professional development, and you're reading those longer journals, those longer texts. In the OET, each text is about 800 words long, and the skills you need here are expeditious reading, skimming and scanning, and careful reading. We'll be looking at the individual skills you need in turn during the course and looking at ways you can build those techniques.